Oh, he went down. The quad! The quad! Alright people, it's your boy Boomboy, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be making a tier list for all the weapons, the maps and the perks of factions. And I originally got this idea from seeing a video from your boy Chai T. He did a tier list involving all the weapons of the game. So make sure you check that video out and subscribe to him as well, because that's where I got the idea for this from. But first things first, I'm just going to go through the maps. So for tiers quickly, we'll have the usual S tier, A tier, B, C and D. And then for the absolute crap tier, I'm going to go for something a little different. Obviously, you've got your weapons and your maps and whatever. That's so bullshit, you don't ever want to touch them. But I'm going to make it include also the things that are just like too overpowered for their own god. So I'll call it the bullshit / broken tier. But to get this out of the way first, I'll go through the maps first, and straight away, where are you? Yep, downtown. You are going straight in the bullshit tier. Reason being, I'll provide a little explanation for why I think what I think, by the way. Also, these are opinions, so if you disagree, you disagree. That's cool. But downtown is going in the bullshit tier. Reason being, it's too big. It's too big. Like, you can easily hide in the back, and the way the map's set out as well, it's just really janky. And let's be fair, imagine actually voting for this map when it comes up in the lobby. Right, next up I'm going to go to the D tier, and Suburbs is going in there as a close second. And yeah, Hometown, Suburbs and Hometown can both go in there. The reason being, I've never ever liked playing Suburbs because it's too what's the best way to describe it? It's just, I don't like the layout at all. It's too close, for want of a better explanation. It's just, there's too many corners to be peeked around. And the thing with Hometown is just no. Alright, I'm gonna move on to C tier now, and I'm gonna put Coal Mine in C tier. Like, it's close to being in D tier, but there are like a couple of areas, say as inside the building that you see on this little screen like there. There's a couple of areas in this map that I do like, but the rest of this map is it's just really awkwardly laid out. And financial parts, it's almost B tier, but nah, I've got to put this along within C as well, because the way this you'll hear me talking a lot about layouts of the maps and stuff like that. It's wet. Like, I do like open maps, but this is just wide open, and because it's like no elevation change, you're not really. Although then again, I could say the same thing about Checkpoint, but obviously I'm putting that in a higher tier for reasons being. But it's just a very wide open space, and it's just, I don't know. I've never been a massive fan of Financial Plaza, to be honest. Alright, so we're going to move on to B tier now, and there's going to be quite a couple of maps. So I'm putting Beach, you know what, I'm going to save Capital, Wharf and going B, Bus Depot and University. So you got University, Bus Depot, Wharf and the Beach in B tier. The reasons being for those, Beach, I do like the little outside area where the boat is and that. The actual sewer part, it's okay, but I do have my issues with that every now and again. What is up next? Up next is Wharf. Yeah. Likewise, the open areas, like on the outside of the actual building, I do like that. Although you can hide in the back in a couple of places, but the inside area, you know what? The inside area is good as well. I do like that place. What is up next? Bus Depot. Yeah, I've always liked this, and also, you have to keep it at least B tier because there's giraffes if you look outside the map. You just have to do it for the giraffes, man. But on the whole, this is a pretty decent map. Like, it's not groundbreaking, but it's respectable. and I put University. It's just a smidge of A tier, but the 2 buildings in the back, they're way too easy to camp in, so that's why I marked that down. So we have Lakeside in A tier as well, and it's close to S tier, but like I said, it's 2 buildings at the front and the back of the map that let it down, because it's just, I don't know. I mean, yeah, to be fair, you can flush those places out if you know what you're doing, but sometimes if you've got a whole team up there, it's just impossible to penetrate. Billstown is a different reason why it's not in S tier, because as you all know, the spawns in Billstown are very questionable at best. Like, sometimes you'll spawn on one side of the building, like, I call it, in fact, it's the same with either building. You can spawn on one side, and the enemy will spawn literally the other side, waiting to come and get you. So that's why it's not in S tier. Otherwise, I would put it in S tier. The bookstore, that goes in A tier as well. Like, some people will be pretty contentious with this because they are upstairs area in that, but it does provide another level to the map, which I do like in some respects. And besides, the two little boxes that you climb on to get over the bookcases to reach the other sides, if you know exactly what I'm talking about, those make it a little bit easier if you have to deal with campers and stuff like that. And oh no, Water Tower is S tier. I will put it there. Capital, I am putting in A tier. A lot of you are going to disagree with me on this one, but I do like it. It is very open, especially in the buildings, but from the way it's laid out, I like how they've done it. Like, I've said, I don't like the way that the buildings are set out in downtown, but I do like the way the buildings are set out in Capital. So, but downtown is never gonna be in a good tier anyway, but you know what I mean. So yeah, Capital is A tier. You probably disagree, but fight me. And no, I've already done Beach, that's in B tier. I think it's time for S tier. So straight away, Water Tower. Obviously, you've got quite good sight lines down the middle of the map, and the sides of the map, they're not too campy, but they're great for flanks and stuff whenever you get time. Because normally when I spawn on this side of the map that's in the picture, you'll normally see me going down the right because everyone goes down to the left, and yeah, I do enjoy being on that map a lot. And it is the same with the dam. The dam, like the whole downstairs area, like it's either you see people down there all the time or not at all. So I do like making my way down that, as you've already seen probably a million times whenever I play this map. It's just a good map to play, and it's good for sniping as well. High school, this just sneaks into S tier. Like the buildings at the back, like are really easy to camp in, but they can be flushed out. They can be flushed out, and the rest of the map, I do like the gunplay for the rest of the map as well. So high school is going in S tier, and finally, what else? You have to put Checkpoint in S tier. I'm not even going to debate this. It is the 1v1 map, and it's always it's a close knit map as well. So you're not really far from action, but unlike Billstown, you don't normally get spawn trapped. Actually, no, tell a lie. You do get spawn traps sometimes, but then again, that's the same for every map. But you don't get you don't spawn with enemies right next to you. That's what I'm trying to say. So Checkpoint, S tier, God tier, whatever tier, it's up there, and there is no question about it. Alright, next up we're going to be talking about perks, and to keep this relatively simple, I'm not going to do individual perk numbers like Explosion Expert 1 or 2, for example. I'm just going to do what I think about the perks as a whole, and straight away, Pistol Auto, Covert Training, Bomb Expert, and Gunslinger, which I haven't bought. You are all going in a bullshit / broken tier. Pistol Auto, you're either memeing or a new player, and those are the only 2 reasons that you'd ever use that perk. Otherwise, no. Current training. Well, to be fair, current training 1 isn't bad. You just have a shape on spawn, but current training 2 or 3. So yeah, if you've seen my channel enough, you probably know what I think about this perk through much angrier levels of communication. So the less said about this, the better. Bomb Expert is in the same boat. Now, I've put Gunslinger down here because, like, okay, let's say for example you're using the Enforcer. You start out with 8 bullets. Pistol damage is increased by 50%, so okay, you start with, what was it, 12. And in Gunslinger 2 you'll start with 16. But this doesn't stack. So if you're doing well with the game, obviously you'll have upgraded the Enforcer, so you'll be on level 2. With Gunslinger 2, for 4 loadout points, you start with 1 more bullet. And if you purchase Gunslinger 1, that's already dead by the time that you've upgraded it once. So I would say, if Gunslinger stacks with pistol ammo, I could put this minimum B tier, probably A tier. Because okay, let's take the Enforcer again, for example. Say if you're on build stand and you've got a dodgy spawn or whatever, you're starting out with 30 bullets. Now 30 bullets, it is more than enough. That is all. That's close to S tier, but your bullets don't stack, so your Gunslinger is whack. Next up is D tier. So I'm going to start off with lethal efficiency, and I put I'm going to put Jack of all trades in D tier for reasons that I will explain. Second chance, no. Fortitude, yes. Damage marker, and is there any more that I can't actually fit in here? That's not going in D tier. You're fucking mad. I want to know. Nah, Shark is not on its own. No. That will be it for D tier actually. So, lethal efficiency. You're basically using loadout points to do a different special execution. Now, I get that if you're going for the special execution challenge, I'm counting all these perks like literally just on their own. By the way, I'm not gonna think about them in terms of any like perk combinations. So say like with lethal efficiency and execution, for example. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it in terms of the perks on their own. And lethal efficiency, you're spending points for a faster special execution, and to waste like 2 or 3 loadout points where you can use it on something better, in my opinion, is just a waste. Jack of all trades. Okay, you do get a wide range of perks with this, like especially if you use Jack of all trades too. But the thing is, like, it's the Jack of all trades for a reason. You're the Jack of all trades, but master of none, and it's just I don't really get down with this perk. Fortitude is basically that the extra points you get from healing whenever you're hurt is nice, and also carrying an extra health pack and starting with 1. But it's a perk I reckon for basically when you suck and you don't really want to be relying on perks like that, and it's just I don't get down with Fortitude. And damage marker, like on its own, okay, yeah, double marking is nice, but like say unless you're using bombs a lot or scavenger or what, not scavenger, launcher. Why not mix launcher with scavenger? Anyway, yeah, if you're using this on its own, it's basically 2 points for being lazy. Like, why not just press R3? Because it's not like it makes any difference to covert 3s or anything, because it doesn't. So damage marker, just nah. Okay, so next up is going to be C tier, and I'm going to put Lucky Break. I am going to use I am going to put awareness in C tier. Second chance, you know what, no, second chance I've decided it's going to be in B tier. Agility on its own agility is going in C tier. As is nope. Marathon runner, I am not gonna put Marathon runner. I'm gonna put Sharp Ears in C tier. And I think that's it for everything else. Actually, I will put Brawler in C tier as well. Right, start off, Lucky Break. Okay, so getting more crafting ingredients is nice, but the way this game works out is they're not going to be the crafting ingredients that you want. So you just end up with a load of craftables that you can't put into your inventory because you have no more space. So it's if they would tweak it, so there's more of a chance that like getting the things that you want, like say binding is normally very rare. This will be a high tier, but as for that now, I'm gonna put it in C. Awareness, I do understand, like it is kind of underrated, but like enemy tags aiming on screen when you take damage, you'll normally be able to see where they're coming from, and if you can't see where they're coming from, chances are, by the time you manage to turn around and see where they are, they've already killed you. That's why I put awareness in C tier, but I do understand that it is an underrated perk by a lot of people, but I just find, I don't know, it doesn't make B tier for me. It doesn't make it. Like, not by much, but it doesn't make it. Agility on its own is okay. Yeah, it's okay, but wait, let me just check one thing with tech. You do get agility too with Lone Wolf, so I will talk about that on its own later. But agility, you're just crouch walking very quickly. Like, okay, very good for coverts, but not really much use. And agility too, like, yeah, basically as long as you're not sprinting, you move around a lot faster. But on its own, it's quite expensive, like 4 points for it. So, nah. And it's just sharp ears. Like it's nice to be looking around in this mode quite a lot, but like I said, like say if you've got coverts to worry about, which is a big problem nowadays, then it kind of render sharp ears on its own sort of useless. So it's just these things on their own, they're not really groundbreaking. And one more thing, I did say Brawler was in C tier as well, because you do get health back when you're smacking people, but if you've got someone that's let's say you got a 4 also who's very good on the trigger, then there's no point trying to hit him because you'll just get damage wobbled and then you'll end up getting your arse popped on the ground all the time. So that's why I'm putting Brawler in C tier. Alright, next up we have B tier, and I'm going to put Explosion Expert. I'm going to put, there are going to be quite a lot of perks in this one, I've just realised. No, I'm going to save Reviver for A. Those are done. Strategist is going in B tier. No, Marathon Runner is B tier. Have I put Second Chance? I did say I was going to put Second Chance in B tier. There are a couple of others, I think. I'm going to put Executioner in B tier as well. Right, first things first, Explosion Expert, like 1 point, it's pretty good perk. It's probably one of the most, for 1 point, it's probably one of the best perks that you can have. Because like your bombs and Molotovs just go that little bit further. 2, I did say, it's verging on the edge of broken, but because I'm thinking of the perks as a whole, I'm putting Explosion Expert in B tier. Strategist is B tier as well, because obviously it's nice to know when you've been marked, and like say you're on a multi-level map, it's nice to know when like a covert's above a onesie, but like say if your covert's like right, unless the covert's literally sitting right next to you, then the range on seeing nearby enemies is pretty useless. Like say if they extended it by 1 or 2 meters, this would be able to be going into A tier. And obviously respawning early is nice, like say for example you're about to get into some death situation, but then again it's 5 points for a respawn, which you could use for a lot of other things. So that's why I'm putting Strategist in B tier. Marathon Runner is B tier as well, like it just sneaks into it, because honestly sometimes you'll end up having to chase people down, like say God forbid you're in a Condor Man situation, But nah, it's an okay perk. It's a half decent perk. It just enables you to get around the map a little bit faster as well. Second chance, I'm putting in B tier as well because, like, obviously you get a free health kit when you're taking damage, and say like if you're on a last man standing situation and you haven't got a health kit on you, this could like save your life. And also if you end up getting into a match and you end up sucking for a bit, getting like additional armor or cheaper armor on your respawn as well, it's a good thing to have. Did I say something else was going to be B tier? Executioner, yes. Okay, it's a nice perk if say if you're running the shiv loadout or whatever, and you're getting and also in your interrogations on that one as well, on Executioner 3, like this is borderline A tier, but it just sneaked into B because in my personal opinion, obviously you don't have to agree. For getting parts, there are better ways to do things. So Executioner is just in B tier for now, but it's borderline A. In the midst of all that, I actually missed one perk as well that I just remembered. Hawkeye is going in B tier because, okay, Hawkeye 1 is useless. It's like, okay, you mark an enemy for a few seconds longer and that's it. Like, say Hawkeye 2 and Hawkeye 3, which most people usually use, like, it's good because you can see exactly where the enemies are sitting. Like, obviously, if you've got covert training, then it's not exactly, it's basically useless. But say if you're sniping and someone's like undercover, you can see exactly where they're gonna pop out. So it definitely helps out if you're trying to get headshots and stuff. And also it's actually one of the perks that I used to run a lot, like way back in like my older videos. Like I can't remember, I don't know if I've I know I used it on PS3 a lot. Like I used Covert 3, God forbid, Hawkeye 2, and then Sharpie as 1 or something like that. I used to use this perk a lot, so it does have a little soft spot in my heart. So I'm going to put Hawkeye 2 in B tier before I do forget. Alright, next up is A tier. And I'm going to put Reviver in here. I am going to put Crafter, First Aid Training. Reason being, these all help your team out, and say if you do have to stick together, they're all good ways. So A, help your team, and B, get yourself a load of parts as well. So I'm grouping those together for the same reason. And another perk in terms of parts is Collector. Now, a lot of people are gonna mark this down further, but I'm putting Collector in A tier, and I reckon it's because obviously you're doing a lot of things during the game. You're crafting, you're shooting, you're doing all this and that and what have you. And although it doesn't stack up with healing or crafting, for everything else, Collector is a pretty good perk to have. Because okay, it says it might take parts by 10%, but when you actually use it in the game, you'll realise that it's actually a little bit more than 10%. And the same goes with Collector 2 as well. Like say, for example, you've used your parts boost, so you're on like one of those population challenges, and you're using Collector 2. Just for crafting the craftable, you get 45 parts, not 30, 45. Now think about how many craftables you're making a match. That's probably enough. Like even if you're doing well, that's probably enough for one weapon upgrade alone. And if you're getting a lot of craftables, then this will stack up no end. So I am putting Collector in A tier, and you're probably going to disagree, but this is opinions after all. Is there anything else that I am missing out of A tier? I believe not. Okay, I don't think I am missing anything else out of A tier. Yep, we are good on that one. Alright, so last but definitely not least, we've got S tier. And what we have left are Sharpshooter, Lone Wolf, and when I find it, Scavenger. Okay, Sharpshooter, obviously you're going to be shooting a lot, and say if you're sniping or whatever and stuff, you don't have to worry about scope sway as much or getting damage wobbled or anything. And getting help back for headshotting people is awesome. But obviously this comes with a warning. Like the higher levels of sharpshooter, especially sharpshooter 3, which you'll probably know about, when paired with certain weapons, I'm not looking at you at all, burst rifle, this goes in broken tier. I'm not even gonna fuck about. Like when paired with subtree, this is just basically, if you get hit by this combo, it's GG, just simple as so. But because I'm judging the perk on its own and I'm not comparing it with anything else, this does go in S tier. Then Wolf, it's an S tier, whatever the situation. Like if you're like me and you're flanking a lot, you're basically by yourself most of the time. If you do not have Lone Wolf, you're officially slacking. Because A, you get extra parts for down people if you're away. B, you get a lot of perks, especially with Lone Wolf 2. Like you've got Agility 2, Sharpshooter 2, and Sharpshooter 3, which is 11 points of perks into a 3-point perk on its own, which makes it better than Jack of all trades for that respect. And C, just Lone Wolf is love and Lone Wolf is life. And it's the same story with Scavenger. Like if you're mowing down to your enemies, you're going to be obviously using through a lot of ammo and stuff like that. And obviously picking up more ammo off the enemy's bodies, especially if you're doing well, it'll balance things out. And especially with Scavenger 2 and Scavenger 3, where you even have a chance to pick up crafting item as well. That's just, Scavenger is also love and Scavenger is life. Sharpshooter, very good, but can end up in broken territory when paired with some things. But on its own, that's S tier as well. And that will complete the perks for now. Okay, last but not least, it's the big one. We're coming to the guns. And I'm going to do this by small firearms first, then large ones, and then the Purchasables last. And to simplify this down a little bit, or in my personal opinion, or the silenced version as the weapons, they can go down a tier. That is simple as that, because obviously being able to shoot with this and not show up, and it's a bit cheese in my opinion. So silenced versions go down a tier. Right, I'm going to start with the shorty, and surprisingly, I'm not putting it in bullshit tier. I'm going to put it in D tier, because the range is actually quite short. And okay, if you got someone around the corner with one of these things, basically you are dead. But otherwise, it's not really the best weapon, and it can be easy countered if you know what you're doing and you manage to keep your distance. So I am putting the shorty in D tier, but the rest of these weapons, I'm gonna skip C and B tier completely because all of them are awesome. I am gonna put the burst pistol in A tier because it is very bad at range. I'm not even gonna lie, but obviously closer up, it's an absolute monster. Like about mid-range, short and mid-range, this weapon absolutely slaps. But on the long range, say like if you're trying to take down a sniper with this thing, it's just not gonna happen. So for the range reason alone, I will drop this in the A tier, but only just. Whereas the rest of these, they can go in S tier for different reasons. The revolver, okay, this is basically the combo's weapon of choice, but I'm thinking about the weapon on its own, and on its own, the revolver is a good weapon to have, because obviously when you upgrade it actually shoots reasonably quickly, about the same as like about a base semi-auto if I remember rightly. But I just have to say, you've seen what you can do with the revolver in the right hands. It's an awesome weapon, and if you get headshots with this thing, same with the other weapons to be fair, but getting headshots with this thing, you're basically good, and it's half decent against armor as well, with it taking only 2 shots to get off. The 9mm, okay, it's bad against armor, but if I was fast, you have quite a lot of ammo, and if you get headshots on this thing, it's game over, because it does the same amount of damage on head as... Wait, does the burst rifle do slightly more damage on it as a headshot? I think it does, but it does 60 damage for a headshot, which is absolutely nasty. And basically, if you know how to aim with this thing, it's all the gun you'll ever need. And it's the same in case with the Enforcer and obviously the other 3 pistols as well. Obviously, it's a mini VR. The VR slaps by itself. But having a smaller version, okay, when not upgraded, it's wank. But as soon as you get that double upgrade on it, it's a nasty weapon to deal with on its own. And the Enforcer is awesome. Alright, next up comes the bigger boys, the large firearms. And straight away, tactical shotgun. You don't escape the bullshit / broken tail. You don't escape it, because the range on this shotgun, quote unquote, is ridiculous. Like outside of medium range, okay, you'll be fine, but nobody's gonna use this outside of that kind of range unless it's stupid. And inside its effective range, you're fucked, basically. Because it's very fast getting the bullets out, as you probably see being on the wrong end of one, and in my eyes, this shit is just absolutely broken. So that's that dealt with. Next up, I am going to go for D tier and scope 4 auto. Again, 2 reasons why I use this weapon. You're either memeing or you're new. And the scope 4 auto, it doesn't make sense with the scope, because the one edge the full auto has over its other weapons is the fact that, say if someone's right next to you and they're trying to punch you or stick you or something, you can just keep firing shots into them and they'll wobble and they won't be able to touch you. And with the scope, you're kind of removing that bit, see, because the full auto, like because you're obviously continuously firing shots, when you get out of range, unless you like tapping the trigger, then it's very hard to keep your shots on target. And okay, you do get a little bit less recoil with the scope, but nah, I just don't rate it. Okay, next up is C tier, and I'm going to put the scope burst in here and the scope semi-auto for similar reasons compared to the scope for auto. Like with the scope, these weapons don't really make sense. The semi-auto makes a little bit more sense with the scope burst because it is a good weapon at far range, and when dealing with I can imagine when dealing with a sniper, it's a good alternative weapon to have, but I don't see the point in it when you can just use a normal semi-auto and place shots better. And the scope burst, okay, again, less recoil, but with a burst rifle, you're normally using it at close to medium range, and trying to keep your shots on target with a scope, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to move on for now, because next up is B tier, and I'm going to put the full auto, and I am going to put the front tier rifle in B tier, only just. Like the full auto, okay, I do use it quite a lot. It's a good weapon to sit back and chill with, but obviously when you need to start bringing the pain and start getting the muscles out, it's not really the best weapon to have. The front tier rifle is in B tier because it is a good snap weapon. When I say that, like obviously you see someone coming, you can quickly short switch, get a shot off, and then jump behind cover. And obviously with the range on this, it's pretty damn good. It doesn't kill with a headshot though. Otherwise, you know, if it did kill with a headshot, then it would kind of negate the purpose of the hunter rifle. So I can understand that part. But the full auto is in B tier, and the front tier rifle is B, but it's borderline A. It's borderline A. And speaking of A tier, we are going to place the bow in here. We are. You know what? I'm going to leave the variable rifle for S tier. I'm going to put the hunter rifle in A tier, and yeah, I'm going to put the bow and the hunter rifle in A tier. Because, okay, with the bow, I do like it, but the way you aim it, obviously you have to you have to lead into your shots, and say if you got someone that's dodging the back quickly, it's hard to predict where they're gonna go. Although the one thing with the bow is, if you aim it well enough, you can actually get enemies behind cover. But on the whole, I'm gonna put the bow in A tier. And as for the hunting rifle, again, getting headshots with this thing is absolutely amazing. But the thing about it is, at close range, you literally have to be a wizard. Otherwise, they can get up to you and obviously you're dead. Obviously, you can combo with the other weapons, but I'm just talking about the weapons themselves and themselves only here. So, for that reason, I am going to stick the hunting rifle in A tier, just because at close range, you have to be literally on your toes, otherwise you're dead. And finally, S tier. You could probably see these ones coming, but you've got the semi-auto, you've got the burst, and you've got the variable rifle in S tier. The semi-auto, it's just an all-around balanced weapon. It hits hard, it fires fast. The only thing about it is ammo is low, but obviously there are methods like if you're doing well with it, you can obviously buy bullets, or you can use scavenger or anything else like that. But on the whole, this weapon is pretty damn good. The burst rifle, you've probably already seen what it can do. Like I said, when paired the sharpshooter, this ends up being in broken tier. But on its own, the burst rifle, obviously, you start landing the headshots with this thing, you can find anybody coming up to you, and they're basically dead. Like, it's on the verge of being broken, but that's why I say this sharpshooter, obviously, yeah, that's GG. But on its own, I will put it in S tier. And the variable rifle, lastly, like, obviously, it's not as much damage as the semi-auto, but it has a not much higher fire rate, but it still fires pretty damn quickly. And unlike the semi-auto, you do end up running into not quite a lot of ammo, but you end up with more than the semi is what I'm trying to say. So, variable rifle, semi-auto, burst rifle, S tier for all of you. Okay, so, last but definitely not least for today, we are coming to the Purchasables. And straight away, let's just get this out of the way. Bullshit tier for the shotgun. Reason being, if you ever get close to it, you're dead. Simple. And that is bullshit. Besides, you probably already know my thoughts on the shotgun in much angrier terms, so to speak. So, less said about the shotgun, the better. Next up, the launcher. It does escape the bullshit tier, but it's going into D tier. Because, obviously, it's very annoying to come up against. And if you're up against multiple, then basically you're dead. But one launcher on its own, it is kind of avoidable. Well, not avoidable, but it's not the end of the world. Like, okay, so it does, like, say if you're in cover and stuff, or you're far away, it's an annoying weapon to go up against, but obviously you'll be able to hear it coming from when it's being fired, and when it lands and everything. Because it fires so slow, you do have a little bit of time to get it out of the way before the next shot takes you down. And obviously, like everything else, I'm just thinking about the weapon alone, not combining it with anything like explosion expert or whatever. But the launcher, it does escape bullshit tier for the reason that you can kind of avoid it when you do face up against one, but it's not going any higher than D tier. And as for C tier, I'm going to put the double barrel for reasons that I will explain in a minute, because you're probably thinking like, what the hell. The machete is going to C tier, and also the flamethrower. So, the double barrel, why is this a C tier and not D tier like the shorty? Because it's basically the same weapon, right? My reasoning is, obviously, when you've got the shorty, you're obviously thinking, okay, this is my go-to weapon for close range and stuff. But when someone's using a double barrel, it's a bit different. Like, you're not. It's another option instead of the option, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like, And I'm not gonna say I like it, but unlike the rest of the shotguns, I don't hate it. So I am gonna put this in C tier, but I'm not putting it in higher. The machete, it's a bit, it can be a bit pointless. Like, okay, like I said, it's a quick melee weapon for when you're downing someone, but like I said, I'm thinking about the weapon on its own. I'm not comparing it, like, say when you come for it, like say with a hunting rifle or whatever. I'm not thinking about it in terms of that. I'm just thinking about the machete on its own. And okay, it's a good melee weapon, but like I said, you come up against like a thrower or something, or someone that's good on the trigger. The melee part of it becomes basically useless, so you're just left with a weapon that's just hanging in your inventory for banter. Flamethrower is going in C tier because obviously it's another weapon. It's another one of those weapons where you only use it if you're either new or you mean it. But the thing with the flamethrower is, like, weirdly enough, it doesn't interrupt. Like, I don't think so anyway, but it doesn't interrupt like someone's shots. Like, it doesn't give them like much recoil, I don't think. So it kind of counts against it, but at the same time, when you do kill someone with a flamethrower, it's like a Molotov, where most of the time it's an instant execution. And I think that's what spares it from being D tier, but it's not going any higher than C. Next up we have B tier, and I am going to put the assault rifle in B tier, and I am actually going to put the Spectre in B tier as well. Now the assault rifle, for reasons, like, I do like this better than the Spectre. I like using it better than the Spectre, but it's not as good of a weapon. Like, okay, it's a loud weapon for starters, and although it does a little bit more damage, it's still pretty weak. The Spectre, meanwhile, like, I do like the fact that it fires rapidly. I do like, in general, just weapons that fire rapidly, just for whatever reason. It's the same in like whatever other shooters I play. I like the weapon that shoots quickly. But I don't know. I've always had a soft spot for the assault rifle, even though it reloads slower than the Spectre and fires slower and stuff. So the assault rifle is B tier for personal reasons, and the Spectre is B tier for objective reasons, if you can see what I'm trying to say. In A tier, I'm going to put the crossbow, because obviously it does fire slowly, but obviously with the bleeding damage that you can get, it is a good weapon to have. Like, say if you've got people constantly on you, it'll force them to either heal or try and risk still going after you before the bleeding damage eventually takes them out. So it's a good weapon for fending off people, especially if you're on a last man standing or a 1v1 situation. The crossbow is a good weapon to have in that respect. And finally, we're going to S tier, and really any other choices that I was going to use? The military sniper and the El Diablo, because El Diablo is a nasty weapon. It's almost borderline broken with the amount of bullets that you can buy with this thing, but El Diablo, it's just straight up nasty. It's my go-to whenever I have to do a combat situation. And the military sniper, the thing I find weird with the military sniper is it doesn't do as much body damage as a normal hunting rifle. But I will say one thing: there is no more satisfying feeling than getting a headshot with a military sniper and just seeing the enemy just rock onto the floor. Because you're not reviving them, there's no healing them, there's nothing like that, except if they have a helmet, but they'll still do massive damage. There's none of that nonsense, you're just straight up dead. And for that reason, the military sniper does make it into S tier. And I think, praying that I haven't missed anything, I think that's everything covered for this video. Like, I hope you enjoyed it, because it was something a little bit different for today. Let me know your opinions of what you think of my tier list in the comments down below. And from that, I guess I will leave you for today, people. Stay classy, and I will catch you later.